came from the writers. The writers talk about Google employees all have the same problem. They work at Google. The benefits are so great that they gain 15 kilos or 15 pounds. I'm sorry, you're right. In Taiwan, it's kilo. In America, it's 15 pounds. So 15 pounds. So that idea. So that's why I say Americans, when they see Google 15, they will know because they know the original freshman 15, the high school student going off to. Also, in the same posting I talked about, in that time, I saw on the news that there was a popular word, McJob, that was in America. And it was only popular for a short while because McDonald's complained. McJob, the meaning was that McJob is a low-paying job that never lead to any future. Okay. So McDonald complained. It showed up in the dictionary 1 year. Okay. McDonald complained immediately. Say many of our store managers start at the basic level. So working at McDonald's is not a McJob. It's not a low-paying job without any future.
So in
McJob, McJob. McJob, yeah, Mc like it, right? McJob. So that only show up in the dictionary 1 year, right? I remember these two very clearly because at that time I used to teach English at the big companies. I was teaching at Foxconn, Honghai. I was teaching at Honghai. I was very fat at that time. You know, I taught at Honghai for their engineers for 3 years. For the 3 years, I go there. The class leader come pick me up. We always walk the stairs. Every time I walk in their lobby, I see an elevator. One day I asked the class leader, I see an elevator. Why don't we ever use the elevator? He says, our boss think if you cannot walk their stairs, you don't have the right to help me make money. Say that the elevator is only for important people. If you're Dell, if you're Apple, you ride elevator. So before I was really fat, when I used to teach the class of engineers, I would always have to walk the stairs and then I would tell them, I need to go to the restroom because I need to go to the restroom to rest for a minute. I need to go rest for a minute, really. And then in my students, you know, I would try to find out how important they are to the company. And the way I ask them, did you ever get yelled at by Terry Guo? Did you ever get yelled at Terry Guo? Terry Guo will always yell at his employees. And also make them stand, right? 罚站. So I ask them, and then if they say no, never been that, then I know they're not very important in the company or in my. And then if they say yes many times, then I know they're very important.
Because Jack,
right?
Another Jack.
Yeah.
About it. The
yes.
Mr. Boy is hot temper.
Yes, hot temper. So I taught the engineers, and then sometimes after class they want to stay late to study. I always ask them, why do you do that? And one engineer told me, my boss hasn't gone home yet. I can't go home. Then sometimes from the third floor classroom, we come down to the first floor to where some of the machines are. I see the other engineers playing computer games. They're all playing computer games. And I'm saying they're not working, playing computer games because the boss hasn't gone home yet. So, right. So that is the company culture at that time. So I know when I teach company like this, I need to throw words at them. That's why. So when I found out McJob and Google 15, that's how I would introduce them to that kind of language. That impressive, right? That's right. And then talk about today's topic. I like to share my own experience. In America, this is how, when we went to middle school, the school system, you learn 6 weeks of Spanish, then you learn 6 weeks of German, then you learn 6 weeks of French. Then afterwards, you can choose the language you want to. Oh. I feel our government's policy about learning English is internally between the politicians, the leaders. We're betting on America will be a strong country for the next 50, 100 years. It may not be that way. About 10 years ago, before President Obama left office, he made a policy. They want to hire 200,000 Chinese teachers all over America to teach the students from the countryside Chinese, Mandarin Chinese, because at that time, China was coming up. They feel to go to China is where you can make money, you can become important. Yeah. Right? It's the president now, but I feel we should change our policy to English. We should add more. We should look at the problem facing our society. So one problem is if we bet on America will be the strong country in the next 50 years, then we will need to improve English. But we also need to look at, we have an aging society. So I'm saying 6 weeks of English, intense immersion English, then 6 weeks of some kind of medical courses for our younger students. Because we need to have a generation of them want to become doctors that can help our older society, our older citizens. And then 6 weeks of something like coding. If we look at what's going on around the world right now, knowing how to code, you can destroy a lot of things or you can improve a lot of things. One thing America did to Iran is they shut down their banking system. And you want to know they shut down their banking system. Americans shut down the banking system. Right. So the government employees and the soldiers cannot get paid on time.
Yes.
Yeah, you cannot. The Iranian government cannot run all over and then take cash to pay the soldiers. Right. So when the soldiers don't get paid and their family, their wife is complaining, they get upset. So I'm saying if we have our good coders, you know what they do in Israel? They take their young people and they find out who's good at math, who is interested in this, and they train them in coding. So Israel have a strong coding culture.
Right.
Ukraine has the same idea. Russian have the same coding culture too. We don't have that. I don't see our government really stressing from looking at 12, 13, 14-year-old students, which one are strong in math, which one have interest in science, and like that, we can train the group of coding. So I see our biggest threat to our island society become better and better. Number one is the Asian society. Number two is the government in West Taiwan. I saw a real funny thing. Americans on the internet says, that is not China. We should call that West Taiwan. West Taiwan, So the government in West Taiwan, right? Yeah. So if we can shut down their banking system where their government officials cannot get paid like that, or if we can shut down their email, their government cannot communicate, it will help us to survive. So coding. So I'm saying the younger generation, the younger students coming up, teach them all a little bit of all 3 or 4, and then let them choose which one they want to. Right. We're worried about the way America is going now. In next 50 years, white people will be minorities, and the whites cannot accept that. The whites will go crazy. So I only see America going down.
Right.
When I was growing up in America in 1980s, every American wanted to learn Japanese because Japan was strong. They all learn Japanese. And in between that, many want to learn Chinese because China was strong. But now it's going down because of the president now. President is right. So I don't see the government and the people to be the same, the society to be the same. We have always learned English for testing because we are a testing culture. Our testing culture didn't come from the government over there. It came from tradition and history. So it's gonna also talk about all of you. My suggestion to you: if you want to speak English, speak up, speak loud. Don't worry about grammar. I've seen many important Americans speak with wrong grammar. They don't care. The listeners all know. All listeners, they all still listen to the message. Right? If I go watch President Trump's speaking, and then you go watch from a grammar point of view, you will find a lot of grammar mistakes too. So nobody care about that. Just about communication.
Nobody care because of this person.
Yeah. Not only that. But we gotta, if our government, we want to bet on that America will be strong the next 50, 60 years, then 100 years, then English is important for us. Yeah. If not, then but I'm a big fan of Li Guangyao from Singapore. I feel we can also, I don't know if our government, if our training pipeline, the way we train future officials, if they study the ideas and the policy of Li Guangyao and how he began that.
Sorry.
Yes. Oh, yes.